The ideal situation is to hire a professional real estate photographer, but because of time restraints, budget, whatever, you have to take your own photos. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips that will help you better your real estate photos using a simple cell phone. So stick around. So in this video, I'm going to address using just your cell phone and not using any extra gear like tripods or lighting. You can get into that later. The first thing you need to do is get familiar with your camera. The things you're not going to use with your camera is the zoom feature. It's better to just move forward or backwards with your cameras instead of using the internal zoom. The next thing you're not going to use with your camera is the built-in flash. In this scenario, real estate photography, it's kind of useless, so I wouldn't recommend using it. You're going to want to shoot wide in most cases, so if your camera can shoot wide or that extra wide, like an iPhone 11 can do that, it can shoot extra wide. But if your camera can't do it, just work with what you have. Know where your exposure control is. You're going to be using that a lot. What that does is adjust how bright or how dark an image is, so know where that is. Real quick about lighting and dynamic range. Your eye is the best camera in the world. For example, you're standing in a room next to a window with the bright sunshine peeking through, and your eye is exposed to not only the light inside but also the bright sunlight outside. No camera can do that. It's going to have to make a decision on what it focuses on, exposes to, either the light inside or the bright sunlight outside. And basically what it does is whatever's taking up about 70% of the frame, that's what it's going to expose to. If your camera can do HDR, high dynamic range, I would put that on. Basically what high dynamic range is their camera will take multiple shots and put it all together, shots from underexposed to overexposed, and splice it together so it shows an image that closely resembles what your eye would see, something like this. The things that matter in real estate photos. The first thing is composition. There's an old saying, the devil's in the details, and that's especially true in real estate photography. What you want to focus on are the edges, to not cut off things like windows or doors or cabinets or light switches. Either you put them in the scene or cut them out. Height of the camera matters, especially when you're shooting wide. A good general rule is to put your camera about 4 feet off the ground. You just have to play with it. About 4 feet is good starting point. And just remember, more floor is better than more ceiling. Be mindful of the tilt of the camera. It affects vertical lines. So does height of the camera, but especially tilt. When you start tilting up and down, the vertical lines start bending. They start skewing. So be mindful of that. A level shot matters, so be mindful of your horizontal lines, so just try to keep it as level as possible. Before you take photos, remember you can move things around, furniture, objects, so it's more visually appealing. It's better to move a couch and then take a photo of the back of it, and also a big vase that's blocking something, you can remove it, so it's more visually appealing. Let's talk about prepping the house. I made a checklist of things you can address in each room, indoors and outdoors. You can see the link at the bottom of the descriptions. But basically, get it as clean as you can. You want to do things like turn off the TV, turn off the fans, close the toilet seat covers, move all the personal belongings in the bathroom, toothbrush, soap, all that stuff like that. So that's about it. My last bit of advice to you is if this all sounds overwhelming, then it's probably best to hire a professional real estate photographer. If you plan on taking it on, I hope all this information helps. And I'll see you later. My name is Ashton with estateportraits.com. Bye.